Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Self Improvement Project. I hope everybody is well. I hope your journey on self improvement is going well. I hope there's maybe some new things on the horizon for you as you're on this journey of self improvement. Today's episode is called What Does Having Less of Give You More of? Now, a bit of context. We're going to go back to the start of the pandemic today, back to March 2020. And also, I've started writing some episodes. I'm not going to promise anything around timelines of when certain episodes will be released. I'm just going to work through them because I'm enjoying writing and revisiting those thoughts. But also, and this is maybe a preference of mine as well, sometimes I don't always listen to podcasts. Sometimes I enjoy reading posts that are written as well. So just to give you that option of that as well. So if you prefer a wee written edition of podcast episodes, I've started doing that recently as well. So back to March 2020, the world comes to a halt. For the first time in many of our lives, this is the first time we've experienced something like this. The initial intuitive responses of panic, of survival, took hold. And to be honest, it took a few months for these feelings of fight or flight to even begin to fade away. But as we adapted to this, something important happened to us and our lives at this moment. Something crucial that some of us may have lost since the start of the pandemic as things have progressed and transitioned back to being whatever normal is now. But because we've had a taste of it, it will be easier than ever to try and reclaim some of that back. And this thing or concept that I'm talking about today is the concept of less. Less demands, less stuff, less plans. Yes, this might be familiar with movements such as minimalism or essentialism that I've chatted about before. And these lifestyles are as strong as ever. I'm not asking you to do that or convert to these lifestyles today. All I'm asking is for you to consider the benefits that less brought you during this time and maybe still does now. On a personal note, solitude has always been nice. It's always brought me pleasure. But to have more of it than not seemed like a luxury at that time. Time to think, time to ponder, time to unlock creativity, which, maybe good or bad, led to this podcast. My lifestyle became amazingly simplistic, and these things tended to and still do bring me most of my joy day in, day out. Time to make a proper homemade coffee in my little mocha. A long dog walk with no distractions, which can lead to being a form of meditation, being more routine and structured in my life. Taking the time to cook proper meals, then stuff my face with processed food in a very limited time because I'm too busy to even breathe. The benefit of simplicity is ultimately the reduction of your attention to time. As I touched on there, we live in an age of squeezing time, and I feel we need to consider moving closer towards eradicating that lifestyle. In contrast, the concept of more is the only dream we're sold of and sold to keep up with the Joneses. We never know anything else. And partly that is our own responsibility and lack of desire to find out about it. Because we blindly follow more, it's all we know. But as you're listening to this podcast, and as you have maybe learned through your own experiences of this quieter time in society, pleasure is finite, and the feelings of it always plateau based on your circumstances. You had lots, you then had less, and now we're going back to having more again. Those initial times of things opening back up and being able to do things will have brought infinite pleasure, but it plateaus. Your threshold rebalances out again. So, is there something that we can do to make the most of this simplistic lifestyle? The benefits of less? A couple of questions for you to consider as I summarize this episode. Do you think you could firstly force yourself to live with less? Going against the grain, bearing the judgment of others, removing the pressure of society squeezing you to fit in. And after forcing yourself to do so, my second question is, do you think you could be happy with less? Do you even know what that might feel like? Have you ever tried to find out? One of the beauties of less is it heightens the experience of the smaller things in life. When you take the time, perhaps over drinking and eating mindfully, it literally tastes better. You should try it sometime. Or maybe when you take a walk, you'll hear more of the birds sing, or you'll realize how much fresher the air is when you take the time to consider it. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Does more in life, more things, more stuff, more plans, can it be used in a positive way? There's things that I can think of, but I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you enjoyed. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.